Hi, this is Patty from BirdTricks.com. So cockatoos, they're divas, they're drama queens, they're larger than life and full of themselves, and they go through life with this dance like nobody's watching attitude. They're so fun to be around. However, when people come to us and they ask us what kind of cockatoo they should get, we pretty much unanimously recommend this one here. And then we hear from people, why do you guys hate cockatoos? You're always slamming them. You're always, telling people to avoid them. And here's the thing, we don't hate cockatoos. We all have cockatoos. The problems aren't with the cockatoos. It's the combination of cockatoo traits and certain human personality types. We're all softies here. We all want the very best for our birds. We want to give them the best possible life in our homes as we can, and we go to great lengths and expense to do this. So what do you think happens when you take that kind of person and pair it with a bird that wants to cuddle all day long? It's very easy to give in to that, and it feels good. It feels good. So when we tell cockatoo owners that they need to resist the urge to cuddle their birds, they get defensive, and it's, why should I not cuddle my bird? What could possibly go wrong with that? So cockatoos, by the way, are the bird that are most surrendered to rescues, and there has to be a reason for that. When you take a cockatoo out of the cage, they do this stretch and lean thing in an effort to make contact with you so they can kind of graft themselves to your chest. And for most people who just want their birds to be happy, it's easy to cave and give in to that. And I have to admit, it doesn't feel awful to be laying on the couch watching TV with a cockatoo snuggled under your neck. But if you project this behavior into the future, 5 years from now, you could wind up with a bird that has turned cuddle time into an expectation of you. And the minute you walk in the door, you'll have a screaming cockatoo that insists that you take him out for cuddle time. He's been waiting all day for you, after all. And the minute you walk in, you're on. Or when you are cuddling and you got something you got to do, you got to go to work. You have to interrupt because the phone rings, or like your house is on fire or something. You'll be trying to remove him, and he'll be holding onto your shirt, and then you have this clash where he's resisting and you're forcing, and it becomes aggressive, and eventually you're going to get bitten. The bottom line is that your bird should not be so reliant on you that he waits all day for you to come home so he can cuddle. It's not healthy for you, it's not healthy for your bird, and eventually this is going to impact your life together. So what feels beautiful right now, in 5 years may look pretty ugly. And that's how they wind up in rescues. So don't create that monster. Learn to say no. What I do with my birds, I have a Goffin's cockatoo, Theo. It's easy not to cuddle with her. She'll be cuddling, she'll be there for 20 seconds, and then she'll start to quiver and tremble, and it's so clearly sexual that, it doesn't feel right at all. So it's pretty easy to disconnect with her. But with Linus, my umbrella, it's different. And if you have a cockatoo, you know what I'm talking about. Cuddling with your cockatoo is like a little slice of heaven. But what I do with him is I only allow a short cuddle time, maybe every 5th or 6th time he comes out of the cage. And I make sure that that's a really short time, so like 20 seconds. And the decision on whether or not he gets cuddled is based on how persistent he is about it. Like if he's being really pushy, I make sure he doesn't get it, because I don't want him to think ever that being pushy with me is going to be effective. And when it's time for him to not cuddle anymore, I make sure that I have something within arm's reach to distract him. So like toy parts or something shiny that always gets him. A wad of paper always gets my birds to do what I want them to do. And he gives up really quickly because he isn't accustomed to being able to bully me into doing what he wants to do. And we have this kind of arrangement where half the time he gets his way and half of the time I get my way, but I never do anything with any predictable pattern so he can use it against me and manipulate me into doing what he wants to do. And when your bird is cuddling with you, they aren't running around and getting exercise. They aren't socializing with other family members. Your bird should not be stuck to you. He should be out doing what birds do, which is, ruining your furniture and pooping on everything. But hey, what are you going to do? So the takeaway from this is practice tough love with your cockatoo and learn to say no.